Waiting be this. Mwalimu, unakohoa, nasikia kwa kamera. Must be a joke. Shadi. Kuku wako hapo nje. So let's start. Tuanze. So today we will be studying about partial variation. Partial variation is what we are going to be doing today. Is what we are going to be doing today. Today is date 9th of June 2026. This being our day 3 boot camp for the topic variation. So, as we introduce ourselves to partial variation, I want us to first understand on the properties of partial variation. Properties of partial variation. So partial variation, some of the properties of partial variation includes Number one, it has two constants of proportionality. It has two constants of proportionality. It has two constants of proportionality. So in this case, I love using constant K and M. Constant K and M. I prefer using those two. The other people who use K and C, it's also okay. But in this case, let us be using K and M as our constant of proportionality. The second property of partial variation is that it resembles a general formula of a straight line or a general equation of a straight line, which is y is equals to mx plus c. So it forms a linear equation. In short, it forms a linear equation. It forms a linear equation. It forms a linear equation. So in this scenario, we are going to be doing some examples so that we can understand more on partial variation. So I'm going to my pen here, and we will lab this so that we can now dive in having to do some examples. We can dive in and do some examples. So question number one. The first question that we are going to do, cha tuweke kalamu wino, na sijui ama mmeingia nyote. Naona watu watatu. Where are the rest? Endeleeni kuingia tu, si tutaendelea. I'll make the video public so that you are going to, excuse me, the ink imejaa kabisa. So let us continue. We are going to do a question here. A quantity P is partly constant. Example 1. A quantity P is partly constant and partly varies. Is partly constant and partly varies as the square root of s. And partly varies as the square root of s. A using constants A and B, write down an equation connecting T and S. Connecting T and S, 1 mark. So let us do this. A quantity P is partly constant and partly varies as the square root of S. But in this case, we have been told to use our constants A and B. So in this case, let us not use the K and the M. Let us use A and B. So when we say a quantity P partly or is partly constant, we will just introduce K mara moja badala ya kushinda tukiweka hii. Let us just put equals. So a quantity P is partly constant. No, these are the constant we are supposed to be using. So a quantity P is partly constant and partly varies as the square root of S, and partly varies as the square root of S. So that is going to be our equation. P is partly constant and partly varies as the square root of S. You can see in this expression here, we have got two constants of proportionality, A and B. So we have been write down the equation connecting T and S. Did I say a quantity? It should be a quantity T. It should be a quantity T, sorry. So it is a quantity T, not P. So T is equal to A plus B root S. That is going to be our equation connecting. Then part B is saying if S is equal to 16 when T is equal to 24 and S is equal to 24, no, and S is equal to 36 when T is equal to 32 comma, find the values of A and B. Find the values of A and B. 2 marks. Find the values of A and B. Find the values of A and B. Find the values of A. I'm in class. Find the value A and B. So tutakuja tuchukue hii equation yetu T is equals to A plus B root S. We have been told if S is 16 when T is 24. No, just a minute. Very sorry for this. Let us continue. So, if S is 16 when T is 24, 24 equals to A plus B square root of 16. So this will give us 24 is equal to A plus root 16 is 4. 4 times B is 4B. And this one has given us a linear equation. Then we proceed with the second one. And S is 36 when T is 32. So the second one is going to be 32 is equals to A plus, we have B multiplied by square root of 36. So this one is going to be 32 is equals to A plus 6B. And that is going to be Roman 2. So with the two linear equations, with these two linear equations, we can be able to find A and B, which are our constants of proportionality. So the first one will be A plus 4B is equal to 24, and the second one will be A plus 6B is equal to 32. A plus 4B is equal to 24, and A plus 6B is equal to 32. So with this linear equation, we have A and A, so we can go straight to the point and subtract. A minus A is 0. 4B minus 6B is negative 2B is equals to 24 minus 32 is equivalent to negative 8. 24 minus 32 is equal to negative 8. Then we will divide both sides by negative 2 by negative 2, and when we simplify, we will get our B is equal to negative 8 divided by negative 2 is equal to 4. We have already determined the value of B. Let us proceed to determine the value of A. So we can use either equation A or equation B to find the value of A. Let us probably use equation A. So the first equation is A plus 4B is equal to 24, and our B is equal to 4. Our B is 4. So we are going to replace A plus 4 multiplied by B is 4, 16 is equals to 24. Having that, we'll be having 1 plus 4 times 4 is 16 is equals to 24. And when we take this to the other side, we'll have A is equals to 24 minus 16. So this will definitely give us A is equals to 24 minus 16 is going to be equal to 8. So our first value of A is 8, and our second value, the B, is equal to 4. Generally, that is how we respond. Tumeelewa the first example? If we have understood the first example, then let us proceed to the second example. Let us do example number 2. If you have any question, just drop your question on the comment section, and I am going to respond to it. So question 2, on our example 2. Our example 2 will be, tufanye hii, two variables P and L P and L are such that P varies part 3 as L and part 3 as the square root of L. Part 3 as the square root of L. Determine the relationship between P and L, given that L is equal to 16, P is equal to 500, and when L is equal to 25, comma, P is equal to 800. P is equal to 800. 5 marks. So we are supposed to respond to that question. So two variables P and L such that P varies part 3 as L and part 3 as the square root of L. Determine the relationship between P and L given that L is equal to 16 when P is 500 and when L is 25, P is equal to 800. So we are first going to write down our equation. So two variables P and L are such that P varies partly. P varies partly as L. So P varies partly as L. We have introduced our first constant. P varies partly as L and partly as the square root and partly as the square root of L. P varies partly as L. We said in partial variation we have two constants of proportionality, and partly as the square root of L and partly as the square root of L. So we now have the first one. Determine the relationship between P and L given that when L is 16, P is 500, and when L is 25, P is 800. So in this case, we will now replace the values in our equation with this value. So we'll start with the first one. P is 500 is equal to K into brackets. Our L is 16 plus M multiplied by the square root of 16. So this is going to give us 500 is equals to 16 times K is equal to 16K plus square root of 16, 4 times M is equal to 4M. And this is going to be our equation 1. This is going to be our equation 1. Then let us proceed to find the second one. 800 is equal to K multiplied by 25 plus M multiplied by square root of 25. So 800 is equals to 25 times K is 25K plus square root of 25 is 5. 5 times M is 5M. And this one will be our equation 2. This one will be our equation 2. So with both equations, 1 and 2, we can write them in form of 16K plus 4M is equals to 800. 25K plus 5M is equals to, no, this one is 500 and this one is equal to 800. Once we write our equation like that, we can decide to either eliminate K or M. In this case, I would recommend we eliminate M so that we avoid using large numbers. Let us try to use small numbers. So let us so in this case we will multiply here with 5 and at the denominator we will multiply with 4. So once we do that, 5 times 16K will be 8K plus 5 times 4 will be 20M is equal to 5 times 500 is 500 and 4 times 25 is 100K plus 4 times 5M is 20M is equals to 4 times 800 is 3,200. So having that, if we subtract, we will get 80K minus 100K is negative 20K. Then 20M minus 20M is 0. So it will be minus 20K is equals to 2,500 minus 3,200. This is going to give us negative 700. It will give us negative 700. Therefore, negative 20K is equals to negative 700. For us to be left with k, we divide both sides with negative 20. We divide both sides with negative 20. By negative 21, by negative 21. K is equal to negative 700 divided by negative 20. You will get negative and negative will go. 0 and 0 will go. 70 divided by 2 is 35. So with k as 35, we can proceed to get m. So we can take one of the equation. 16k plus 4m is equal to 500 when our k is equivalent to 35. So in this scenario, we are going to have, we will replace our k with 35, and we will have 16 times 35 plus 4m is equal to 500. Is equal to 500. So by doing that, we are going to have 16 times 35. 16 times 35. This is 30. That is 80. 6 times 3 is 18. Carry 1. 3 times 1, 3 plus 1, 4. So it will be 0. 6 carry 1. 560. So 16 times 35 is 560. Plus 4m is equal to 500. So we will take this to the other side, and we have 4m is equals to 500 minus 560. And by doing so, we are going to have 4m is equals to negative 60. 4m is equal to negative 60. So we will divide both sides by 4, and when we divide, we are going to get our m is equal to negative 15. So for us to write down the equation connecting P and L, it is going to be P is equals to, our K was 35, so it was partly varying as L, so it will be 35L, then plus minus 15, so it will be plus minus will be minus 15 square root of L. 35L minus square root of 15L. Square root of 15L. So that is it. Let us do another example. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, ensure you click the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so that each and every time we are live streaming, you'll always be notified. So let us have example 3. Example 3 reads, the distance S meters of an object varies partly with the time t seconds and partly with the square root of the time, and partly with the square root of the time, and partly with the square root of the time. Given that s or distance is 14, when t is 4, and s is 27, when t is equal to 9, write an equation connecting s and t. Formats. So the distance s meters of an object varies per tree. So the distance s meters of an object varies per tree with the time t seconds, and per tree with the square root of the time. With the square root of the time. Iko hivyo. S meters of an object varies per tree with time in seconds, and per tree with the square root of time. When s is 14, t is 4. So tuanze na hapo. When s is 14, our t is 4. So 4 times k will be 4k plus our t being 4. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 times m will be 2m. And that will give us the first equation. Let's get to the second one. And when s is 27, t is 9. So when s is 27, our t is 9. So 9 times k will be 9k plus m. Square root of 9 is 3. 3 times m is 3m. That will be our equation 2. That will be our equation 2. So with the two equations, we can be able to find the value of k and m. So we will have 4k plus 2m is equal to 14. And the second one will have 9k plus 3m will be equivalent to 27. It will be equivalent to 27. So with these two equations, we are going to, in this case, we can, let us eliminate m bado. So hapa tuta multiply na 3 na hapa 2. So 3 times 4 will be equal to 12k plus 3 times 2 will be equal to 6m is equals to 14 times 3 is equivalent to 42. 2 times 9k is 18k plus 2 times 3m is 6m is equals to 2 times 27 is equivalent to 54. And when we subtract, to eliminate, so 12k minus 18k will be negative 6k. 6m minus 6m is 0. So we will have minus 6k is equals to 42 minus 54. That is going to give us negative 12. It will give us 42 minus 54. So it is going to give us negative 12. And when we get negative 12, for us to get k, we will divide both sides by negative 6, and by doing so, we will get our k is equal to 2. Our k is equal to 2. So when we get our k is equal to 2, when we get our k is equal to 2, we can get our m. So 4k plus 2m is equal to 14, and our k is equal to 2. So we will take 2 times 4 is going to be 4 times 2 is 8 plus 2m is equal to 14. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 2m is equal to 14. So we will take 8 to the other side so that we will subtract it to be minus 8. And this is going to be 2m is equals to 14 minus 8 is equivalent to 6. So we divide both sides by 2 and we will get our m is equal to 3. So when we get our m is equal to 3, the equation connecting s and t will be equal to, because our k is 2 and our m is 3. So it was s is equals to kt. So our k is 2. So it will be 2t plus our m is 3 square root of t. 3 square root of t. And we are done. So have we understood? Tumeelewa? Tuendelee na examples zingine. Let's continue. Examples. Have we understood? We will still continue with more examples. Example 4. Two variables a and b are such that two variables a and b are such that a varies partly as b and partly as the square root of b. And partly as the square root of b, given that a is 30. Tuweke kalamu ink. Ni noma tena. So square root of b, given that a is 30, given that a is equal to 30, when b is equals to 9 and a equals to 16, when b is equals to 14, comma, find a when b is equal to 36. 4 marks. Find a when b is equal to 36. So in this scenario, We will first write the equation. Two variables a and b are such that a varies part 3 as b and part 3 as the square root of b, and part 3 as the square root of b. Given that a is 30, b is 9. So when a is 30, b is 9. Tutaanza hapa. When a is 30, b is 9. So when a is 30, b is 9. So 9 times k is 9k plus square root of 9 is 3. 3 times m is 3m. So that will give us our first equation. Then tuende ya pili. And when a is 16, our b is 14. So our b is 14. So 14 itakuwa 14k plus, what is the square root of 14? Tuseme square root of 14. M root 14. M root 14. So when we have that, is our second equation. That is our second equation. So we can now determine the value of k and m, which are our constants of proportionality, and have 9k plus 3m is equal to 30, and 14k plus m root 14 is equals to 16. So when we have that, we can now use eliminate to simplify and eliminate k. So we can multiply this one by 14 and this one by 9. So what is 14 times 9? That will be 36. 9 plus 3 is 12. So it will be 126. 126k plus 14 times 3m is 42m is equals to 30 times 4 is 420. Then this one we have 126k plus 9 times m square root of 14, m root 14. I can take 9 times m equal 9m root 14 is equals to 16 times 9. 6 times 9 is 54. So it will be 144. So it will be equal to 144. So tukisubtract hapo itakuwa nini? 126k minus 126k itakuwa 0. Then we have 42m. Nitafutieni square root ya 14. What is the square root of 14? Nipatieni hiyo mbio mbio. Square root of 14. Square root of 14. Finya calculator mbio. Square root of 14. Kuna mtu wa kufanya. 3.742. So this one will be 42m minus 9m times 3.742 is equals to 144. No. Is equals to 420 minus 144. Kumudura hata hivi. $276. So by this solve for m. Tafuta m. That 3.678 678m is equal to 276. So 42 minus 33.678 8.322. So for me to get m, I'll divide both sides by 8.322. 8.322. Hiyo ishe. M ibaki 276 divide by 8.322. That is 3.16. Sasa nitafutie K. Tafutie K sasa. No one is commenting. Ungekuwa mnanisaidia na hizi calculations. I don't have a calculator here. I'm eagerly waiting for you to do those calculations. Munipatie. Haya, chukua hii. Weka hapa. So 120 plus 42 times 33.16 is equals to 420. Fanyeni hii. Mnipatie K ni nini? Nipeni value ya K tafadhali. Give me the value of k. Nipeni k. Haya. Kuna mtu ananipea k. I want the value of k. Nitafutie k. Take your calculator, find k and give me the value of k. That is what I want now. I just need the value of k. K ndio ninataka. I need k. Haya basi wacha niifanye. $126k plus $42 times 33.16. So 1,392.72 is equals to 420. So I'll take this to the other side. Nipate 126k is equal to 420 Aya, malizieni. 420 minus 1392.72. Nipatieni value ya k ni nini? So who is right? Who is right? Negative 7.72. So our equation will be A is equals to KB negative 7.72B plus M 33.16 square root of B. And tumembiwa find A find A when B is 36. Find A when B is 36. A is minus 7.72, B 36 plus 33.16 times the square root of 36. So A is equal to A is equal to negative 7.72 times 36. Amalizia hii minus 7.72 times 36 plus 33.16 times 6. Ile utapata hapo ndio jibu. Hiyo ndio jibu. Let's do another question. A quantity M, a quantity P is partly a quantity P is partly constant and partly varies inversely. And partly varies inversely as quantity Q. Given that P equals 210, when Q equals to 1.5, and P equals to 20, when Q equals to 1.25, find the value of P when Q is 0.5. Format. So in this question, a quantity P is partly constant. A quantity P is partly constant and partly varies inversely 1 over. Remember, inversely is 1 over as quantity Q. So P is partly constant and partly varies inversely as Q. That is something that you really need to understand. So this is the same as P is equals to K plus M times 1 is M over Q. It can also be written as that. P equals to K plus M over Q. So tunaambiwa given that P is 10 when Q is 1.5. So given that P is 10, so hapo itabaki K M over when Q is 1.5. Tukiwa na hiyo we can eliminate this denominator 1.5. So we can say this one is over 1 and this one is over 1. So for us to eliminate this 1.5, we can multiply everything with 1.5 by 1.5 by 1.5. Na tukifanya hivyo 1.5 times 10 will be equivalent to 15 is equals to k times 1.5 will be 1.5k plus 1.5 it will be plus m. Then fute hapa, that is equation 1. Ya pili, NP is 20 k plus m over when our q is 1.25. So we are going to say this 1 over 1 over 1, then we multiply everything with 1.25, 1.25, 1.25. So what is 20 times 1.25? How is that m coming as? Be clear when asking a question so that I can understand what you are asking. Haya. So 1.25 times 20, 1.25 times what is 1.25 times 20? Ni lazima na kusema 125 over 100 times 20. So this one will be 250, 2500 over 1000. So itakuwa 25. It will be equal to 25. Is equals to 1.25k plus e na e itaenda tubaki na m. So that will be our equation 2. That will be our equation 2. So with these two equations, we can be able to find m and k. So tutachukua ya kwanza, itakuwa (1.5) k plus m is equals to 15. 1.25 k plus m is equals to 25. So we subtract 1.5k minus 1.25. Utapata nini? Will you get 0.25k? If I'm not mistaken, 1.50 minus 1.25. So hiyo itaenda ibaki 452. So correct. 0.25k, m minus m itakuwa 0. So itakuwa equals 15 minus 25 is negative 10. So 0.25, we divide both sides by 0.25. So we will get our k is equal to negative 10 divided by 0.25 is the same as 25 over 100. So that will be negative 10 times 100 over 25. So hiyo itakuwa by 25 1 by 25 4 itakuwa negative 40. So our k will be negative 40. Then our m itakuwa 1.5k plus m is equal to 15. Our k is negative 40. So we will replace k here and we'll have 1.5 multiplied by negative 40 plus m is equals to 15. So 1.5 times negative 40 is the same 15 over 10 times negative 40. By 10, 1 by 10, 4. So it will be negative 60. So this one will be equal to negative 60 plus m is equals to 15. And when we get that, we will get our m is equals to 15 plus 60, and our m will be 75. So the equation connecting P and Q is P is part 3 constant. Remember it was like that. And part 3 varies inversely as Q. So P will be equal to, our K is negative 40 plus our M is 75 over Q. That is the equation connecting. Then tunaambiwa find the value of P when Q is 0.5. So when Q is 0.5, tutafute P. So P is equals to minus 40 plus 75 over 0.5. So our P will be minus 40 plus 75 divided by 0.5 is the same as 75 divided by a half. So you will get 150. Then negative 40 plus 150 will be equal to 110. So our P will be equivalent to 110. 110. And we are done with that question. Have you understood? Tumeelewa? Tumeelewa? Kama tumeelewa semeni kwa comment section. Wacheni kufanya nini, kunyamaza hivyo. Sasa sijui ama tunaelewa ama hatuelewi. Semeni kama tunaelewa. Semeni kama tunaelewa. If you have understood, then like this live. Like it. Like live bana. Ongeeni. Acha kunyamaza. Mnanyamaza sana. Mnanyamaza sana. Zuleka, you have understood from your side. That's good. Let me get 5 comments. More than 5 comments of people who have understood. Kama umeelewa, sema umeelewa. Tafadhali. Ili niweze kujua ama kuna shida lolote. Mwache kunyamaza hivyo. Mniambie ama niwapatie maswali sasa. Kama kuna swali lingine mnataka tuongeze. Do you need more examples? Or do you want us now to, do you want me to now give you some work to do? Just a minute. Haya, I'm back. Niambieni. So tumeelewa vizuri, tuko sawa? Haya, good work. Wacheni niwaandikie maswali hapa. We. A quantity P varies partly as the square of M and partly as N. And partly as N. When P equals to 3.8, comma, M equals to 2, and N equals to -3. When P is equals to -0.2, comma, M is equals to 3, and N is equals to 4. A, Roman 1, find the equation that connects P, M, and N. P, M, and N. 4 marks. Roman 2, the value of P when M is equals to 10 and N is equals to 4, 1 mark. Part B, express M in terms of N, in terms of P and N. Part C, if P and N are each increased by 10%, comma, find the percentage increase in M correct to 2 decimal places. Correct to 2 decimal places. So here percentage, for the sake of the new students, here percentage, yesterday's video, it is already published as public. You can be able to revise on percentage and understand how we are solving on percentage. So I think we are done, except you have a question. So do you have any question? Any question? Any question? So I think we will come to the end of our lesson. Let that be the end of our lesson for today. That will be the end of our lesson. Write down that question. Tomorrow we will be working out on rate of work. Remember we are in paper 2. Tomorrow we will be learning rate of work. That is form 3 work, paper 2. Then once we are done with rate of work, we will proceed to probability. Probability. And after probability, we will check in income tax and also errors and their propagation. That is approximation and errors. We still have so many topics to do in form 3, and I believe that we are going to achieve our target. And let me say that we have officially launched our mathematics bootcamp. From now henceforth, we will be counting it in days. So we are working out on paper 2 bootcamp, mathematics paper 2 bootcamp. Our goal and our objective is to review all topics that we always know paper 2 is always assessed from. So tomorrow we will be studying rate of work. That is what we will be doing. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe. Click the notification bell so that every time we upload a new video, you will always be updated. So wacha tufike hapo leo. Tomorrow we are learning rate of work. Hili ndio swali yenye nimewapatia. Fanyeni hili swali, mtanipatia jibu. Just in case mtu alemewe, ataniambia. So, I wish you a blessed evening. A blessed evening, a blessed night. Tunaweza malizia hapo so that I can check out whether there are some questions to share with you. Can we officially close the class? Do we officially close the class? Any question? Do we close the class? Tumalize class ama mtasemaje? Should we wind up the class? Haya.